Hey guys, Vic's Weir, roadrooter.com. It is September 7th. This is your morning horn of Z's, but I already drank my coffee, so don't have it to show you. But I want to just cover some quick things about the cryptos and then move on to Zero Hedge because there's a lot going on. As far as ICOs, the crazy ICO stuff is pretty much over. A lot of these ICOs that are nothing companies. It's one of those things. You can buy an ICO, but it doesn't mean it's going to have any value when it hits the market. And that's why you really need to do research on these companies, study the ICO, study the company, study the people, and figure out, is this something you want to invest in? Just like any other investment. Anybody could put out an ICO. But the real question you have to ask yourself, no matter how many shares you get or tokens you get, is what would someone else pay for it after this ICO is over? And many people are finding out that they're worthless. These tokens, but you do have your Facebooks and your Amazons out there. So, if you pick 10, you're going to get a couple right, maybe. If you do your homework and you really research these things and you can write out the volatility, you could narrow down that possibility of picking home runs to 8 out of 10, which is really good, because the home runs are going to be absolutely grand slams. So we're over pretty much. So the China ICO scare made people realize that, hey, not all these ICOs are going to be worth anything when they hit the exchanges. And China said no more ICOs because they had a lot of criminal, corrupt, completely ridiculous ICOs. And once again, China has stopped the insanity within the crypto world, and we're back to a normal type of analysis and scenario of what you're really paying for. But the cryptos are here to stay, as you have seen from the latest bounce. Bitcoin's back up to 4,600. Ethereum's back up to $330. Ethereum's got a lot of good news coming, so I'd keep an eye on that one. Litecoin, I still love to death. I'll start thinking about calling Litecoin fairly valued when it's valued at 1 to 4 with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at $4,600, it would be Litecoin at over $1,000. So yeah, there's a long way to go for Litecoin, because it's a better means of exchange than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, the core people decided to do that. That was their decision, and I think it was the wrong decision. But nobody listened to me. Nobody listened to Roger Weir, and we really don't know who's won that battle yet: Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Core. So we're gonna wait and see on that one. If you own your Bitcoin prior to August 1st, just sit on it. Don't move it out of your wallet. Unless you're online, then who knows what's going to happen. But if you hold it in your own possession, you own a win, place, and show ticket. Even if it splits again, you're going to have a position on all three coins. So yeah, anything after, you're picking a winner. And I think Bitcoin Cash will be really exciting to watch if and when the banking system starts collapsing and the means of exchange is needed. But who knows which one will win there. Bitcoin Cash would probably take the place of Bitcoin and be called Bitcoin. If any of this is confusing, go to the Road to Ruta Friday road trips, and it explains all that. That's for private members. But Litecoin is a great alternative, and truthfully, Litecoin is doing everything possible to be cheaper and faster. And that's what we need for a means of exchange. And there's a lot of potential for Litecoin and Bitcoin to kind of team up. And that's what Charlie Lee is working on. So that at some point we can have Litecoin and Bitcoin kind of like gold and silver. And that's why Litecoin is silver and Bitcoin is gold. But there's other currencies as well. This Omizigo, OMG coin, Cliff High says is going to go up 30,000%. He didn't say what number it started from. I mean, it could have been from the beginning when it was really low, but 30,000% is nothing to blink an eye at. This is an Asian coin. I think it has to do with the banking system in Asia, which, I mean, a huge number of people in Asia are unbanked. So bringing these people on, there's huge potential here. And they are working with one of the governments. I think it's the government of Thailand they're working with. So yeah, I have invested in OMG. I love the name, OMG. If we see a 30,000% increase in this price, I think all the investors of Omizigo will be saying OMG, as in, oh my God. But yeah, there's still great. The other thing is, so At this point, I think the ICOs will kind of die down unless it's a good company. And those good companies will be highly sought after. And the big money will go after those. But the crap coins will kind of die on the vine. So the time of picking winners by throwing up against the wall is gone, in my opinion. So make sure you know what the company does. Make sure that you'd invest in it today. If it was on a stock market today, would you invest your cash in that stock? Not just throw it up against the wall, because a lot of the free and easy money is gone, in my opinion, and China took it out. Other things I look at, everything's kind of making a comeback, which is good. Again, remember, this is the very early days. We're talking, this is still going to be going on in the 2020s and 2030s and 2040s. So, a lot of these companies won't be around, but some of these companies will be ruling the world. Like Veritasium will be ruling the world by then and take the place of Goldman Sachs type of thing. That's just a projection from what we can see from what Reggie Middleton is doing. There'll be a lot of great announcements between now and the end of the year, so I think Veritasium is a great buy. But it takes some analysis on your part, and you got to get out there and do the analysis, because just picking these random tokens and cryptos is going to kill you. All right, moving on to Zero Hedge. Trump won. Okay, here's what's going on with Trump. With the exodus of Stanley Fischer at the Fed, he was kicked out by the good guys. Stanley Fischer is a bad guy, absolutely a bad guy, head of the Israeli central bank, and then he was number 2 at the U.S. Fed. And why is an Israeli citizen heading up our? He has dual citizenship, but why do we have someone with dual citizenship of one of the most criminal banking institutions, the Israeli central bank, running our central bank? I believe the good guy said, "You're out and don't come back. Don't let the door hit you on the butt." And note, he is leaving, as Cliff Hyde noted, 710 days, I think, after the forming of the Illuminati, or something to that effect. And he is leaving on Friday the 13th, October 13th. Interesting day to pick his departure. But we move on. So Trump has definitely turned a corner. He is making deals with Democrats now. He doesn't care about the Republicans. He doesn't care about the Democrats. He doesn't care about anybody. He is working the good guys' agenda. Yes, he's going to flood the system with money, massive amounts of money to destroy the system. It is time. And the Democrats will love that, but then it'll show, oh my God, we've flooded the system. Now the U.S. dollar is destroyed. What lesson have we learned? Trump's just trying to end the game now. And these 2 hurricanes are absolutely going to wreak havoc on the financial system. And yes, the hurricane, I believe, is steered by something like HARP. I don't know if it was created by HARP, but it is definitely being steered. We've had that ability for 70, 80 years. So don't think that this is just Mother Nature or God wreaking havoc on the United States because of all the bad things we do. No, this is being steered by intelligent beings. Well, you might call them intelligent. I think it's the bad guys who are steering it. But what will it do? It will destroy the economic system. And they're saying this is the largest hurricane to ever hit the United States if it hits Florida. We'll see what happens, but everything is in line. Apparently, the latest solar flare is going to heat this thing up even more. We'll see what happens. It's a very scary time to live in the United States. Very scary time to be invested when your assets are not in your own control. If you have a 401k, call Will Lair at perpetualassets.com. Go to the Road to Ruta site, and you will see Perpetual Assets. If you scroll down a little bit, right there, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Right there, Perpetual Assets, LLC IRA. You can move your IRA into gold and silver in your own possession, cryptos in your own possession. Call Will as soon as you can, or just go to Road to Ruta and click on this link. Because you need to get your assets, all assets, out of the system. The system will implode any day now. And yes, they've been kicking the can. Trump kicked it down the road, 3 more months until the budget deficit? That's not a long kick. And there's a lot that's going to happen between now and then, between the good guys and the bad guys. So hang on tight, my friends. I told you September was going to be crazy. Here we have a powerful Republican group with 155 members opposes the Trump debt ceiling deal. Trump is not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's working with the good guys. and he's gonna take half these people down on both parties very soon. So be careful with that. Trump doesn't care who he pisses off. He's actually, by siding with the Democrats and giving them all his money and doing anything they want, he's ingratiating himself with the left now. Trump is a master negotiator. Start on one side, and then you won't have to give so much in the middle. So he's definitely moving to the left to give away as much money as possible before money is no longer used. And a lot is pointing to that as well because of Mnuchin going to Fort Knox to see the gold. Supposedly, what's he going to do? Rub it? Is he going to test it with his, with his pinky? Is he Goldfinger? So lots of things going on, and it's all behind the scenes. And the ICOs are in a bubble when you hear Drake has an ICO coming. Paris Hilton had an ICO. Everybody's got an ICO. And again, if you look at if they're like a non-company type of ICO and it's not a good idea, you look on the exchanges after these ICOs are given out and the tokens are given out, and they trade for zero. And we're seeing a lot of that now. So just because you can get 1 million tokens or 1 billion tokens doesn't mean they're going to be worth anything, because who's going to pay for them on the other side? That's what you got to ask. Who's going to pay on the other side? So, moving on, Disney tumbles after Bob Iger cuts Outlook. Disney is a criminal organization. I hate to say it because I grew up on Disneyland, but if you look at all that they've done, it's just almost every movie has these satanic things in them and all these hidden meanings, and I was disgusted when I learned all that. Just go on YouTube and Google Disney conspiracy, and you'll find out a lot of strange things going on at Disney. All right, let's just jump right down. Gold and silver are popping. Yahoo! It's about time, but they only pop because the click of a mouse in the basement of the U.S. Treasury. Gold could go to 50,000 one day with a click of a mouse from Steve Mnuchin. Or actually, without clicking a mouse, it'll probably go to 50,000. Silver will go to 50,000 as well. I think gold and silver will cross at equal value because silver is needed elsewhere. Gold now has a competitor as the only thing to go to when the fiat money dies, and that is the cryptos. So gold has a competitor. Silver still has no competition on the industrial side. Silver, silver, silver. That's all I gotta say. Silver, silver, silver. If you're crypto millionaires now, take a big chunk of that and go buy some silver today, because it's not going to stay here very long. And pretty soon, as soon as the manipulation ends, nobody will be able to buy silver at any price. You got to remember that, because the people holding the physical silver are going to be just absolutely hoarding it. They're not going to want to trade it for US dollars. They might trade it for cryptocurrencies, but they're not going to trade it for US dollars. Here's something scary. 2 nuclear plants in Florida are directly in the path of Hurricane Irma, and they haven't shut them down yet. Nuclear power plants, you can't just shut down all of a sudden. Okay, flip a switch off, and let's walk away. It takes time. They can't shut these things down. That's the problem. And we got the largest hurricane ever to hit the U.S. about to hit 2 nuke plants in Florida. What happened the last time there was an issue in Japan, Fukushima? This is bad. This is really bad, and I do think that might be part of the bad guys' plan to wreak havoc on the United States at this point in time when they are being taken out. So just be careful, and if you live in Florida, Jason at Fort, get out. I know it's headed for the other side of Florida, but you don't want to be anywhere close to this one because nobody knows where it's going to go. If you live in Florida, take a little trip to Kansas and just hang out in Kansas until this thing blows by, or somewhere. That's the problem. Where do you go? Texas is underwater. The West is on fire. We're running out of places to go. The whole eastern seaboard will be affected probably by this hurricane. So times are scary, and Cliff High was predicting that this would be the time of trouble, the end of the year. And as far as earth changes and earthquakes, those are still to come, unfortunately. And I live right on top of an earthquake fault, so I'm prepared, but I'm holding on for dear life. And this is all about the earth changing. The earth is expanding. If you know anything about the expanding earth model, if you don't know anything about it, just go to YouTube and say expanding earth, and it can show you these graphic models that show exactly how the continents fit together. No, it was not Pangea. Well, there was a Pangea, which is all the continents fitting together. But if you take away all the water, Pangea fits together as a perfect ball as well. So it isn't that the Earth was one size and it just split into these tectonic plates. It was that the Earth is expanding and matter is being created in the center of the Earth, and as it expands, the plates break apart. That's the new science, and it makes sense. And if you look at the other planets that are analyzed, the higher ground versus the lower ground, it all fits together on other planets too. So other planets are expanding as well as the Earth. And we just happen to be in a very active time when the expansion is going to increase. It is absolutely lining up with all our economic woes, all our social woes. I mean, this is the time we decided we wanted to live this life to experience this change. And I hope you guys like change because you're going to get a lot more of it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say today. Everything is very much depressing on Zero Hedge these days as the system falls apart. It's been forecast for so long. I mean, I remember saying, "Oh, it's all going to blow apart in the early 2000s," but they keep kicking the can and kicking the can and kicking the can. But the United States is trying to stop that can kicking. The Republicans wouldn't do it. The Democrats wouldn't do it. But Trump and the good guys will do it. So get ready for some big, big changes. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Tomorrow I'll be posting the Friday road trip, and I'll talk about ICOs, which ones are good ones and which ones stay away from. Absolutely stay away. And I'll talk to you later.